All right. Good morning. A second here. All right. First off, we've got some tape profits to announce. So we're going to do that first, and then we're going to hop into some trades. Looks like we got about 42 opportunities already in queue for the day. So we're going to be busy calling signals for most of the first part of the live. So let's go ahead and get that business out of the way now. I already have the stuff laid off. First things first, S&P 500 for 8,532 pips. So that was an announcement for Twitter. Right, and here's for Kick, for Twitch, and for YouTube. Overnight, we passed up 1,200 wins. This is win number 1,208 for us. This would help if I asked for 99.68. Also need to grab the leverage for this. I know this is going to sound weird to say, but we only made 31.4% on this trade. And a lot of it is because it wasn't a very large trade when it comes to an index, and it takes a lot of leverage to get into it. So wasn't bad. I did enjoy taking it, but wasn't one of the larger trades we've taken this year. Now, in addition to the S&P 500, we also took the S&P 500 as a future, and we also took the mini S&P 500 as a future. So we have those two as well. Give me a second. I'm going to post this real quick. S&P 500 versus tether. And there goes the announcement on Twitter. And then for YouTube. All right. That's S&P 500. Then we have the S&P 500 as a future. That's for 351 pips. Now, this one did make us quite a bit of money. Futures act a little different. Certainly more leverage required to get into the trades, but it made quite a penny. So even though it was 351 pips, still made 3,500 bucks off of it. This was a nice win. All right, so there's the take profit smashed on ES1. It's win number 1,209 for us. All right, moving on. We have the mini S&P 500. And basically, it's a future. It's the same as the ES1, except it's 1/10 of the profit. So at 360 pips, you make $1 per pip off the future. So we won 360 bucks off of this. Not bad. Not bad at all. All right, so that's the MES1. That's the mini S&P 500 for 360 pips. And that is win number 1,210 for us. All right, now we have pump versus tether. That was for 281 pips. We did decent on this. It was 121.77% profit. Of course, that's versus the leverage. Dang, on screen is moving a little slow on me today, so pardon me. This is pump fun versus tether. There's your announcement on Twitter. Get YouTube real quick. All right, now to these pips. It was 281. Let's go to Telegram real quick. That's our announcement there. All right, so 281. It's win number 1,211 for us this year. It's 960. Next up, we have hype versus tether. It's for 382 pips. We made 197.78% profit on this particular trade. So long trade, we opened at 40.236 and we took profit at 36.615. So it was a monster call for us, but we did it. And this is going to be hype versus tether. All right, now the Telegram. This is for 382. All right. That's one number 1,212 for us this year. All right, moving on. We've got the German 30. That was for 31,527 pips. Oh, this computer is driving me nuts today. And again, an industry takes a lot of leverage. So we made 30.57% profit off of this. Still meaty. Nice 363 bucks. Okay, so come on. We got the German 30 versus Tether. All right, so 31,527. This was an hour confirmation, so it took a bit of a while to get there, but we sure did it. So it's another take profit smashed. And there's for Twitter. And here's for everyone else. And that's going to be win number 1,213 for us for this year. Two, two, 3, 6, 9. And the last one up, we have Ava versus Tether. This one we made quite a bit of change off of because of how weighted it is. And often you get some of these altcoins that, because it takes so much leverage to get into it, you can make quite a big sum off of a small move. So in this particular instance, it was only for 266 pips for this trade. Hold on. Somehow I got knocked off the platform. There we go. But we made $2,726 off of that move. So all in all, we're up about $3,400 going into the day on 5 wins on versus Tether, and then another 3,600 on 2 futures calls on the S&P 500. So we're just shy of $6,300 in profit, and we haven't even taken any trades for the day. We have 93 orders left open on cryptocurrency. A lot of those will be cleared out as Bitcoin continues its drop to 93,500, which I will be explaining to you shortly. So this is EVA protocol. Not a twit. 266. EVA. All right, so that's the last profit announcement for this morning. That is win number 1,214 for the year. We can get that out of the way. Now, let me go and explain what I'm talking about on Bitcoin, because we've been watching this for quite some time. And you need to go to the 4-hour to be able to kind of see this. So this is Bitcoin at current price. What I'm going to do is I'm going to turn on the order blocks so that you can see. Bitcoin is in free fall. We've been tracking this for a long time, all the way from the all-time high of 126. There is an order block at around 93,500. That is a chance for Bitcoin to bounce up in price. If it breaks this, Bitcoin will continue its free fall to about 89,200. Now, a lot of people didn't even believe that Bitcoin would break below 100,000. I was not one of those people. The reason people believe that Bitcoin is worth the way it's worth is because of their belief that it follows traditional economics. In other words, if you have a limited supply, then you have unlimited price accumulation potential. But that's not quite how Bitcoin works. Another portion of this is that you have to have consistent cash inflows into either the securitization of the token, i.e. ETFs, or the token itself. And if you don't, if people aren't buying it, if people are taking money out of it, it's going to decline in price. And that's what's happening right now. The price of Bitcoin is going down. At the same time, Bitcoin dominance is decreasing. Ethereum is starting to outperform Bitcoin, and money is flowing into other coins. But the coins have gone up so much that what's happening now is that people are starting to take money out of the crypto market and position themselves to buy at a cheaper price. And you can see that if you go to a site like Crypto Bubbles. Now, this is the market cap for the entire day. Look at all the bigger coins that are losing money. Out of the top 100 coins, the many coins that have cash inflows are Leo, Starknet, and Zcash. Oh, there's also Monero. But when you go and you look at the hour, what do you see? Money is flowing into altcoins. So people are taking money out of larger liquidity coins and pumping money into smaller liquidity coins. Why? Because they're looking for bang for their buck. This is the start of an altcoin cycle. You have a decrease of cash inflows going into major coins, beginning with Bitcoin. Those monies go into other coins like Ethereum to be used as gas to purchase altcoins. So this is happening in live time. If you go up over a month, you can kind of see really the effect of what's going on. And you can see things like Zcash. Zcash is up almost 70% this year. It's double the liquidity this month. Same thing with Soon. It's double the liquidity this month. So it means to kind of track this. If you go to the weekly, you can kind of see it a little bit more. So in trading and in holding the physical coins, what you want to do is just follow the cash. This is all public knowledge. And that's exactly how we trade. We follow the cash with the trend, which is why we win so often. All right, so enough of the schmeal. Let's get to this money. Let me turn off this because it's going to be noise. First opportunity, we have MNR versus Tether. That trade is now invalidated. It hit the original stop loss. So we won't be entering that trade. That was at 10:45 last night. I was tempted to hop into it, but thought better of it. All right, we have EVAA versus Tether. We just want to trade on this. Guess what? According to this on the 30-minute, this bad boy is going to zero. So what we're going to do is we're going to make a crazy play on this. What we want to do is we're going to go to 0.01. It's predicting a vector of some sort, like a fast moving move. So we're going to take this to 0.01 and we're going to capture all that money. So we're going to take it down to 1 cent. And it's currently trading at $1.19. Now, mind you, we made a small move on this and we made $2,700. If you do this, even a large lot size that you can take, it'll make an obscene amount of money off of it. I'll let you guys know what I get when it happens, but I'm damn sure going to take it right now. So EVAA versus Tether. I'm going to take this on a short, targeting 1 cent. You don't really see setups like this unless they see a rug pull coming. And I'm all good with that. So let's go ahead and capture this. Let's get our parameters out and into this trade, shall we? All right, this is a purple trade on a 30-minute confirmation. And the risk is 4.45. Your entry is 1.195. Your stop is 1.456. That's for 261. And we're literally targeting 1 cent. We're going for 11.85 here. All right, there's your call for Twitter. And here's your call for everyone else. Now, this is EVAA protocol, 30-minute sell. The entry price is 1.195. The stop loss is 1.456 for 261 pips. The take profit is 0.010. That's 1 cent for 1,185 pips and a risk to reward ratio of 4.54. The reason we're doing this is my setup is telling me that this bad boy is going to go negative. So if it's going to be completely liquidated, we're going to go ahead and take our chances on hitting take profit on the whole kit and caboodle. As you can see, it's already in profit. The thing's going to drop like a rock. That is a setup we love to see. One second. I've got a spammer I need to go ahead and ban. Guys, if you're watching me on any platform, please don't spam my channels. It's a waste of my time, and I'd rather not deal with that. All right, so that's EVAA. Let's go ahead and mark this off. This is a sell for us. It's a BTCC call. Boom. Next up, we've got Manta versus Tether. That's already more than 50% of the way to take profit, so we won't be entering that. We have Hype versus Tether. That hit take profit for us. We announced that earlier. We have TA versus Tether. We're already in that trade. We're not going to re-enter it. We have EVA versus Tether. We literally just called this. So double confirmation on that same setup. We have Virtual versus Tether. That hit take profit already. We have MNR versus Tether. That hit stop loss. We're not entering that. We have the Euro versus the Swiss franc. That hit take profit. We have US oil. That hit our original stop and it's going to turn around and hit take profit for us. So we're actually going to double up on this. We're going to call this again because it's a longer call and catch both on the way down. We're going to target 56.964. And this is on US oil. I'm going to take this above the Asian range for the day. Go ahead and enter this trade myself. What was that? 56.964. All right, I'm in that bad boy. Let's get this called out. All right, now this is going to be a red trade. It's a commodity. It is more heavily weighted than a regular Forex currency. So be careful on your leverage here. This is a 30-minute sell with a 5 risk to reward. Entry price here is going to be 60.061. Stop is going to be 60.895. Okay. For 619. And take profit is 56.964. So 30.97. All right, there's your call for Twitter. Here's the call for everyone else. We've got US oil on a 30-minute sell. The entry price is 60.061. Your stop loss is going to be 60.895 for 619 pips. Your take profit is going to be 56.964 for 3,097 pips. And a risk to reward ratio of 5.00 even. Again, this is a commodity. Be careful on your lots. And we got another opportunity on crude oil for a future. This is CL1. I'm going to target 56.99. Again, we're going to take the stop above the Asian range. This is another 30-minute sell. Risk is going to be 4.51. Your entry here is going to be 60.01. Your stop is going to be 60.68. And your take profit here is going to be 56.99. All right, we got CL1 crude oil. The entry price is 60.01. Stop loss is 60.68 for 67 pips. Your take profit is 56.99 for 302 pips. The risk reward is 4.51. Again, that is the future on crude oil. And we have a future on light crude. I'll take this as well. Targeting 57.1. And we're going to take the stop above the Asian range. Another 30-minute sell. It's going to be 4.5 risk. We got entry at 60.025. We got stop at 60.675. And we've got take profit at 57.1 even. This is going to be QM1. This is light crude oil on a 30-minute sell. Your entry price is 60.025. Your stop loss is 60.675 for 26 pips. Your take profit is 57.100 for 117 pips. The risk to reward ratio is 4.50. And we have micro crude oil targeting 57.02. Going to take that stop again above the Asian range. Another 30-minute sell. This time it's 4.56 for the risk. Here we have entry at 60.03. We have stop at 60.69. And we have take profit at 57.02. Next call, we have MCL1. This is micro crude oil on a 30-minute sell. Your entry price is 60.03. Your stop loss is 60.69 for 66 pips. Your take profit is 57.02 for 301 pips. The risk reward ratio is 4.56. We have the Norwegian krone versus the Swedish krona that already hit more than 50% to take profit. So we're not going to be taking this trade. Too late to enter. We have the euro versus the Hungarian forint that already hit stop loss. The trade is invalidated. We won't be entering that. We have natural gas. Stop loss hit. Trade is invalidated. We won't be entering that. This is light natural gas as a feature. Same pattern. This is micro natural gas as a future. Same pattern. And this is natural gas as a future. Same pattern. Have DYDX versus Tether. We will be entering this on a sell. We're going to be targeting 0.2137. 0.2137. I'm going to move this above structure. Actually, we don't need to do it that far. But right here, it'll be fine. DYDX targeting 2137. Go ahead and hop in this real quick. All right, let's get some parameters. All right, this is a crypto perpetual trade. You can find this on both Liquid Brokers and BTCC. Both of those brokers are in the description to this video. DYDX. say 30-minute sell. 4.07. Entry price is going to be 31.34. Stop loss is going to be 33.79. And take profit is 21.37. And there's a call for Twitter and for everyone else. We have DYDX versus Tether on a 30-minute sell. Your entry price is 0.3134. Your stop loss is 0.3379 for 245 pips. Your take profit is 0.2137 for 997 pips. The risk to reward ratio is 4.07. Again, that is DYDX versus Tether. Moving on, we have Resolve versus Tether. This is a buy to 0.1669. And that's real quick. All right, risk is going to be 3.98. We got an entry price at 14.74. We have stop at 14.25. And we've got take profit at 16.69. We have Resolve versus Tether on a 15-minute buy. Darn it, why? I'm so used to putting sell on things that I forgot to change this to buy. Hold on, I'll get that fixed. Now I gotta go to Twitter and nuke that comment. There we go. All right, it is a 15-minute buy. Entry price is 0.1474. Stop loss is 0.1425 for 49 pips. Take profit is 0.1669 for 195 pips. The risk to reward ratio is 3.98. Again, that is Resolve versus Tether. Moving on, we have the New Zealand dollar versus the Swiss franc. We're going to be entering this on a sell targeting 0.44609. And we're going to put stop above the Asian range. That's a green trade. And the risk is 4.39. Your entry price is going to be 45004. Your stop is going to be 45094. So tight stop at 9 pips. Take profit is going to be 44609. And that's for 40 pips. And we have the New Zealand dollar versus the Swiss franc. This is a 15-minute sell. Entry price is 0.4. Stop loss is 0.45094 for 9 pips. Take profit is 0.44609 for 40 pips. The risk to reward ratio is 4.39. Again, that is the New Zealand dollar versus the Swiss franc. And we're already in DYDX versus Tether. This is a 1 hour confirmation or reconfirmation. We're going to the same point, so we're good there. We looked at natural gas, that hit stop loss. We looked at micro natural gas, the same thing. We look at natural gas as a futures, same thing. And we looked at micro natural gas as a future, same thing. All hit stop loss. At the United States dollar versus the Chinese yuan, we'll be entering this on a sell to 7.08830. Risk on this is 3.57. We have entry price at 7.09648. We have stop at 7.09877. And we have take profit at 7.0883. And we have the United States dollar versus the Chinese yuan. It's a 15-minute sell. Your entry price is 7.09648. Your stop loss is 7.09877 for 23 pips. Your take profit is 7.08830 for 82 pips. The risk to reward ratio is 3.57. Again, that is the United States dollar versus the Chinese yuan. Moving on, we have RB1. That's the future on gasoline. Going to be taking this on a sell to a 1.8648. This means you got a nice little reduction of price at the pump coming. So congratulations to you that have gas guzzler cars. You're going to get a little bit of relief soon. Going to take this above the Asian range. If you're curious, there's normally about a week difference between the move in price on the future on gasoline and price at the pump. So you're looking at gas being about 8 cents cheaper per gallon over the next week. Now, this is RB1, and this is gasoline. The risk is 5.06. We got an entry at 1.9235. Got stop at 1.9351. We got take profit at 1.8648. Let's call RB1. This is the future on gasoline. 15-minute sell. Your entry price is 1.9235. Your stop loss is 1.9351 for 116 pips. Your take profit is 1.8648 for 587 pips. The risk to reward ratio is 5.06. Again, this is RB1. That is the future on gasoline. Moving on, we have the euro versus New Zealand dollar that already hit stop loss. The trade is invalidated. Next up, we have the United States dollar versus the Swedish krona. We will be entering this trade targeting 9.36183. And the rest is going to be 5.05. We have entry at 9.44525. We have stop loss at 9.46176. And we have take profit at 9.36183. And we have the United States dollar versus the Swedish krona. 15-minute sell. The entry price is 9.44525. Stop loss is 9.46176 for 165 pips. Take profit is 9.36183 for 834 pips. The risk to reward ratio is 5.05. Again, this is an exotic currency, that is the United States dollar versus the Swedish krona. Next up, we have the United States dollar versus the Hungarian forint. Already hit stop loss. We won't be entering that trade. We're already in the trade and in profit anyway, so it doesn't matter. We have Zcash versus Tether that hit stop loss. We won't be entering that setup. We have the United States dollar versus the Canadian dollar. We'll be entering this trade, targeting 1.39665. We're going to take our stop above the Asian range. This time it's going to be a 30-minute sell. Our risk is 3.94. We got entry at 1.40296. We got stop at 1.4456. That's for an even 16. And we got take profit at 1.39665. Oops. I messed around and closed my darn window. I gotta do this all over again. And 1.39665. And that's for 63 pips. All right, we have the United States dollar versus the Canadian dollar. This is a 30-minute sell. Entry price is 1.40296. Stop loss is 1.40456 for 16 pips. Take profit is 1.39665 for 63 pips. And a risk to reward ratio of 3.94. And I've got to take a brief break real quick. Hold on, this is United States dollar versus Canadian dollar. Be right back. right, I appreciate your patience. Let's keep going. We have Zcash versus the US dollar. This is spot. Hit stop loss, so we won't be taking that. We have the euro versus the Hungarian forint. I believe we looked at this already. Hit stop loss. We won't be re-entering that trade. We have the United States dollar versus the Norwegian krone. We will be entering this, targeting 10.00062. Stupid thing. All right, this is going to be a 3.85 risk. Entry price is going to be 10.0945. 08945. 10.0945. Stop is 10.11255. That's for 31. Take profits 10.00062. That's for 888. All right, next up, United States dollar versus Norwegian krone. This is going to be an entry price of 10.08945. Your stop loss is going to be 10.11255 for 231 pips. Your take profit is going to be 10.00062 for 888 pips. The risk to reward ratio is 3.85. Again, this is an exotic currency. It is the United States dollar versus the Norwegian krone. All right, we have the euro versus the Danish krone. This already hit take profit on a buy. This is the euro versus the Swedish krona. It's already more than 50% to profit. We won't be entering that trade. We have the Great British pound versus the Swedish krona. We will be entering this trade targeting 1.26, 1.36, sorry, 12.363. Why am my tongue so tired this morning? Jesus Christ. Okay. 12.363. All right, we're going to bring this above here. And CK. It's a 3.31 risk. We got entry at 12.40854. We got stop at 12.4223. And we got take profit at 12.363. All right, we got the Great British Pound Sterling versus the Swedish Krona on a 15-minute sell. Entry price is 12.40854. Stop loss is 12.42230 for 138 pips. Take profit is 12.36300 for 455 pips. The risk reward ratio is 3.31. Again, this is another exotic currency. It is the Great British Pound Sterling versus the Swedish Krona. We have stop loss hit on the euro versus the New Zealand dollar. We won't be entering that trade. We looked at the United States dollar versus the Hungarian forint already. We won't be taking that. We're already in United States dollar versus Chinese yuan. So 1 hour setup on USD versus Hungarian forint. We looked at US Euro NZD already. We looked at Euro DKK already. All right, we have the United States dollar versus the South African rand. We will be entering this trade targeting 16.9504. And our risk here is going to be 3.85. We have entry at 17.10838. 14946. And that's for 411. And we got take profit at 9504. It's for 1580. All right, next call. We've got the United States dollar versus the South African rand on a 15-minute sell. Entry price is 17.10838. Stop loss is 17.14946 for 411 pips. Take profit is 16.95040 for 1,580 pips. The risk to reward ratio is 3.85. Again, another exotic currency. This is the United States dollar versus the South African rand. We have the France 40. This is the indices on a buy. We will be entering this, targeting 82.8990. We like nice snacks. Again, this is an indice. It is more heavily weighted than Forex pairs, so be careful on your leverage here. It has the same weight as the NASDAQ 100, so it's about 10 times the weight of a regular currency. And we're targeting a 4.47 risk. Entry price is going to be 81.6480. Stop loss is going to be 81.3680. And take profit is going to be 82.8990. All right, this is an entry on the France 40. This is a 15-minute buy. Entry price is 8164.80. Stop loss is 8136.80 for 280 pips. Take profit is 8289.90 for 1,251 pips. The risk to reward ratio is 4.47. Again, this is an indice, the France 40. We have the euro versus the Swedish krona. We're actually going to enter this targeting 10.9078. All right, we got a risk of 3.89. We got entry at 10.9683. Darn it. We have stop loss at 10.9835. That's 98385. That's for 156. Then we have take profit at 10.97. Much better. Here we go. We have the euro versus the Swedish krona, 30-minute sell. Entry price is 10.96830. Stop loss is 10.98385 for 156 pips. Take profit is 10.90780 for 605 pips. The risk reward ratio is 3.89. Again, this is an exotic currency. It is the euro versus the Swedish krona. We already looked at USD. What is this? Honestly, don't remember which one that is. All right, so this is ZF1. This is the treasury note. And we're going to take this on a sell to 108.267. I don't know why this is not working the way I intended. Screw it. I'll do it manually. This is irritating. There we go. Let's get this above here. All right, so 3.79 is the risk. right, so this is ZF1. This is on Treasury notes. Got a risk of 3.79. We got an entry at 109.08. And stop at 109, 115. And we got take profit at 108.267. All right, we have the future on the Treasury notes. ZF1. 15-minute sell. Your entry is at 109.080. Stop loss is at 109.115 for 14 pips. Take profits at 108.267 for 53 pips. The risk to reward ratio is 3.79. Again, this is the future on Treasury notes. So that's the 1-year note. This is the 2-year note. I'm going to take this targeting 103.13. Okay. You take this above the 13 right there. All right. The risk on this is going to be 4.11. We got an entry at 104.04. Yeah, stop at 104.05. And we got take profit at 103.313. Got another futures call. This is on 2-year Treasury notes. 15-minute sell. Entry price is 104.040. Stop loss is 104.051 for 9 pips. Take profit is 103.313 for 37 pips. Risk reward ratio is 4.11. Again, this is the future on 2-year Treasury notes. The former call was on 1-year Treasury notes. All right, we have the Great British Pound Sterling versus Norwegian Krone. We're going to be taking this on a sell to 13.19047. All right, we've got a 3.58 risk. We got an entry at 13.25294. We got stop at 13.27039. And we got take profit at 13.19047. Looks like we got some additional confirmations on calls, this time on the 30 minutes. So we might have additional entries on things we've already taken. So we'll get to those as we start clearing off our trades. Not a problem. It's your next call for Twitter. For everyone else, you have the Great British Pound versus the Norwegian Krone, a 15-minute confirmation. The entry price is 13.25294. Your stop loss is 13.27039 for 175 pips. Your take profit is 13.19047 for 625 pips, and a risk to reward ratio of 3.58. Again, this is an exotic currency. It is a Great British Pound, sterling versus the Norwegian Krone. Moving on, we have the future on the Japanese yen. We're already in that trade. We have the United States dollar versus the Mexican peso. We're going to take this on a sell to 18.14222. Going to take this above the 13 EMA. Right there. And we have the United States dollar versus the Mexican peso, this time on a 30-minute confirmation. A risk of 3.97. Got entry at 18.31092. We got stop at 18.35346. 18.34356. 46. 5346. There we go. So 425. Got take profit at 14222. And that's for 1687. And the call for Twitter. And the call for everyone else. United States dollar versus the Mexican peso, 30-minute sell. Entry price is 18.31092. Stop loss is 18.35346 for 425 pips. Take profit is 18.14222 for 1,687 pips. The risk reward ratio is 3.97. Again, this is an exotic Forex currency. It is the United States dollar versus the Mexican peso. Next up, we have the euro versus the Czech dollar. Going to take this on a sell to 24.11955. Going to take the stop above the 13 EMA. Grab parameters for this again. Euro versus the Czech dollar. And we've got a 4.56 risk on this. We got entry at 24.18218. Got stop at 24.19591. And we got take profit at 24.11955. And the call for Twitter. And the call for everyone else. Here we have the euro versus the Czech dollar on a 15-minute sell. Your entry price is 24.18218. Your stop loss is 24.19591 for 137 pips. Your take profit is 24.11955 for 626 pips. And a risk to reward ratio of 4.56. Again, this is an exotic Forex currency. It is the euro versus the Czech dollar. And we have a futures call on Mexican peso. That's going to be marking itself off in about 4 minutes. We're already in ZT1. We have slight stop loss hit on New Zealand dollar versus the Swiss franc. I didn't put a stop loss on it because it was only 9 pips, so I'm not worried about that. We're already in gasoline. We have stop loss hit on Manta versus Tether. It's palladium. All right, so in 23 minutes, we have a short coming on euro versus Hungarian forint. We also have a short coming on euro versus South African rand. We have a 30-minute confirmation coming on USD versus South African rand. We're already in a 15-minute. We have a 30-minute coming on Great British Pound Sterling versus Swedish Krona. We're already in a 15-minute. And we have a 30-minute long coming on France 40. We're already in a 15-minute. So we're going to wait on those. And with that, we are finally caught up for the morning. Let's get back to looking at Bitcoin and seeing where things are going here. And again, we're targeting an order block at around 93,500 that we know is there. So it still has another 3,000 points to fall. Well, 2,800 to be exact. If it breaks this zone, it's going to fall again to about 89,300. If it breaks that, it'll be falling to 85,900. If it breaks that, it's going to be in free fall, pretty much. So better hope one of these support levels holds. Otherwise, Bitcoin is in some real serious trouble. So to make this simpler, we're just going to look at this on the 15-minute. Price is currently stalled out between two buy and sell zones with resistance at 95,400. If it breaks through this, we're going to clear structure and head down to about 93,600. So loss of about another 2,800 points. All right, let's take a look at the news. Let's see if the world is not falling off around us. And no major news today. We did have negative news on natural gas storage. We have 2 comments by the members of the Federal Reserve. one at 130 and one at 220. Tech stocks are finally back up after, can't remember the name of the bank, but they sold $5.8 billion versus Nvidia stock, and that tanked the S&P 500, and it tanked the NASDAQ 100 leading into today. So it looks like there's a little bit of a recovery. I mean, it's only up like 38 points. That's not what I would call a recovery, but it's better than nothing. So it looks like we have another $870 million worth of cash outflows from Bitcoin ETFs just today. So Bitcoin is going to continue to fall. So the funny thing about cryptocurrency is that it goes from 7 p.m. to 7 p.m. That's their cycle. So their 4-hour candles are 1 hour off. So we've got a 4-hour candle for crypto at 11 a.m., one at 3 p.m., and then we have the daily reset at 7 p.m. So those are the times you really want to be watching to see if you're going to have any big moves on cryptocurrency. But there's definitely a sell side bias. I would be extraordinarily careful if you're trying to take a long, unless you got really, 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 really strong confirmations. We have one of those today, and I think that's only because we got lucky. It's typically not going to happen. We got another 30-minute setup, this time on ZF1, which is the 2-year treasury note. So we got some calls incoming. All right, so we finally got our call on 6M1. This is the future on Mexican peso. We're going to be targeting 0.05496. This is a buy. Now, this is in addition to the sell that we have on USD versus Mexican peso. Basically, what this is a double play. We're betting the United States dollar is going to weaken against the Mexican peso as a currency, and we're betting that the Mexican peso is going to strengthen against the United States dollar as a future. And if we're right, which I believe we are, we're going to double up. So we're going to take this stop below the 13 EMA. After this, we'll take a look at the DXY to see the relative strength of the US dollar to get even more of an explanation of why this might be happening for us. All right. Orange trade. This is 6M1, and this is on the Mexican peso. This is going to be a 30-minute buy with a risk of 4.25. We got entry at 54.45. We got stop at 54.33. That's for 12 pips. We got take profit at 54.96. And that's for 51. All right, the next call, we've got a buy on the futures for Mexican peso. 30-minute confirmation. The entry price is 0.05445. Your stop loss is 0.05433 for 12 pips. Your take profit is 0.05496 for 51 pips. The risk reward ratio is 4.25. Again, this is the future on 6M1, the Mexican peso. Go ahead and organize our list real quick. All right, so let's take a look at the DXY. This is the dollar in relative strength. As you can see, it had a rally. It now has a lower high. This is about to dump off. So the dollar is going to lose value versus other currencies, which means that all those different trades that we have of the United States dollar are going to hit take profit. So as the dollar loses value, we're going to get a win on United States dollar versus Canadian dollar, United States dollar versus Chinese yuan, United States dollar versus the Hungarian forint, versus the Mexican peso, versus Norwegian krone, versus Swedish krona, and versus the South African rand, because of the loss of value on the US dollar. So, congratulations in advance. In the meantime, we're going to go back to looking on the 15 minutes of Bitcoin. We're going to sit on that bad boy for a while. See if we got an Elliott wave going on. And we don't. We still got to break this order block at 95,364. It's been there before. The low of the day is down here at 94,560. So I think it's just kind of drawn back. It's bouncing off the 50 EMA, and it's going to make several attempts to break that order block and continue dumping off price. On the strength that we have so much cash outflow from ETFs today, I do believe that's going to happen. It is 10:17 a.m., so we don't have any new calls for 10:15 a.m., but we do have a number of signals that are coming out exactly at 10:30. That's in 12 minutes. On the euro versus the Hungarian forint, the euro versus the South African rand, another entry on the US dollar versus the South African rand, another entry on the Great British pound versus the Swedish krona, and a secondary entry on the French 40, with a forthcoming call on the 1-year Treasury note. So 6 calls in queue. We know we're going to get those. Just waiting. In the meantime, we got about 12 minutes before anything pops off. So this is a good time for you to grab some snacks, something to drink, use the restroom, do what you need to do. I'll be right here waiting with you in 12 minutes. I got about 4 minutes left. Then we got 5 signals we're going to drop at the half of the hour, 10:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. All right, got about a minute and 30 seconds. Let's go ahead and sit on these calls and get ready. Looks like the euro to Hungarian forward has kind of run away on us. So only saving grace is this a 30-minute confirmation. So it may be long enough for us to make it worth our while to hop in and trade. But typically what you want to see is price coming back into price action for a better entry, not extending further in the next candle. Not ideal. Oh. All right, we got a sell targeting 380.451. Take a stop above here. Here we go. Another exotic currency. Time to get 3.81 risk. Got entry at 384.161. Stop at 385,136. And we got take profit at 380,451. Okay. Dig it. Here we go. It's your next call for Twitter and the next call for everyone else. We have the euro versus the Hungarian forint. This is a 15-minute sell. Your entry price is 384.161. I just noticed that this is wrong. This is a 30-minute confirmation. Got to change it. This is what happens when you end up staring at this stuff so long. Numbers start to move. Let's fix this. This is a 30-minute confirmation. Your entry price is 384.161. Your stop loss is 385.136 for 98 pips. Your take profit is 380.451 for 371 pips. The risk reward ratio is 3.81. Again, this is the euro versus the Hungarian forint. It is an exotic Forex currency. Moving on, we have the euro versus the South African rand. It's going to be targeting 19.48462. It's been a while since we had this many Forex calls. Most of the market's been in consolidation, but now that the freaking U.S. federal government is open and dollars are flowing in and out of the market again, Forex is moving. All right, this is another 30-minute confirmation. This is the euro versus the South African rand. And we've got a 4.88 risk at this time. We've got entry at 19.87806. We got stop at 19.95876. And we got take profit at 19.48462. Next call for Twitter and for everyone else. The euro versus the South African rand at 30-minute sell. Your entry price is 19.87806. Stop loss is 19.95876 for 807 pips. Your take profit is 19.48462 for 3,934 pips. And a risk reward ratio of 4.88. Again, this is an exotic Forex currency, the euro versus the South African rand on a 30-minute confirmation. Next up, we have the United States dollar versus South African rand on 30-minute confirmation. We're already in it on a 15-minute. Secondary entry, targeting 16.86178. And stop is going to be, well, risk is going to be 5.83. We got entry at 17.11597. We got stop at 17.15956. We got take profit at 16.86178. That's call for Twitter and for everyone else. Got the United States dollar versus the South African rand, a 30-minute confirmation. The entry price is 17.11597. The stop loss is 17.15956 for 436 pips. The take profit is 16.86178 for 2,542 pips. The risk to reward ratio is 5.83. Again, this is an exotic Forex currency. This is the United States dollar versus the South African rand on a 30-minute confirmation. Moving on, we have the Great British Pound Sterling versus the Swedish krona. It's going to be a sell targeting 12.33170. And your risk is going to be 4.74. We have entry at 12.42626. We have stop at 12.44619. And we have take profit at 12.3317. And the call for Twitter. And the call for everyone else. The Great British Pound Sterling versus the Swedish krona on a 30-minute sell. Entry price is 12.42626. Stop loss is 12.44619 for 199 pips. Take profit is 12.33170 for 9,000. Tongue-tied, mouth is dry. For 946 pips. Risk to reward ratio of 4.74. There's another exotic currency, this time a 30-minute on Great British Pound Sterling versus the Swedish krona. 30-minute confirmation on the France 40. We're going to double up on this as well. Got a long, this time targeting 830340. Looks like we got a couple of other signals as well. Get to those shortly to see what they are. It's going to be your France 40. That's going to be a 30-minute buy this time. And your risk is going to be 3.11. We got entry at 817170. We got stop at 813680. And we got take profit at 830340. And we got a buy on the French 40. So 30-minute buy. Entry price is 8171.70. Stop loss is 8136.80 for 424 pips. Take profit is 8303.40 for 1,317 pips. The risk reward ratio is 3.11. Again, that is a 30-minute confirmation on the France 40. All right, we now have a mark off on the 1-year Treasury note. This is going to be a 30-minute confirmation. All right, CF1, 30-minute sell. Risk is 5.08. We got an entry at 109070. We got stop at 10910. And we got take profit at 108,237. And this is going to be another sell on the 1-year Treasury note. ZF1, the 1-year Treasury note, 30-minute sell. Entry price is 109.070. Stop loss is 109.100 for 12 pips. Take profit is 108.237 for 61 pips. The risk reward ratio is 5.08. And just trying to call Japanese yen again. We're not going to re-enter on that. So with that, we're back to 0. We got calls coming in less than 1 minute, possibly on the market proper. After that, we've got 2 more tickers, one at 10:55 a.m. for the futures market, the last at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time for the market proper. So while we wait on that, just some housekeeping. If you haven't already done so, drop me a follow. Like the video. Turn on the notifications to depend on what platform you're on. Yeah, I would certainly appreciate your support and seeing you guys back rocking with me. I'm on multiple platforms. You can find me on the Pit Messiah on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, and Kick. I'm also on Apple TV, on Amazon TV, on iHeartRadio, on Spotify Podcast, and on Nemo TV. We go live every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday from 2 a.m. to 4 a.m. Central Standard Time for the London session, and from 8:30 a.m. until 11 a.m. Central Standard Time for the New York session. Hope to see you guys back next week. With that, we have now arrived at another ticker. I don't hear any dings yet. So it takes about 3 minutes for TradingView to get through all the 439 assets that we do trade. So around 10:48-ish, we should know if we get anything for 10:45. If not, we're looking for the next ticker, which is the futures market at 10:55. And then the 11 o'clock ticker for the rest of the market. We do have Bitcoin doing a little bit of retracement right now, which is fine. At some point, we expect it to go up. Question is whether or not it's broken structure or not. Let's go in time frame and see. So it's in the middle of a 5 Elliott wave to the buy side. It might even get to 7, but I'm not sure. Because if it breaks structure, it's going to take off. So we'll be watching it over time. My sinking suspicion just looking at this chart is we have people attempting to go long on Bitcoin, and these institutional buyers are going to go up, snatch that liquidity, and take them for a ride down by the lake by liquidating them, which was a stupid play on their part. You can clearly see that Bitcoin's on a clear downtrend right now. Trading view rates at a strong sell. You go and you look at the fundamentals, just even from the daily down, strong sell, 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 neutral on the 30-minute, neutral on the 15 minutes, a buy on the 5-minute, neutral on the 1-minute. But long term, it's a strong sell. So there's no point in trying to get it and make a lick, trying to buy up. You wait for it to buy up and then you sell it. So I think we have every reason to believe Bitcoin's going to drop a couple of more 1,000 points. I'd be shocked if it doesn't get to 93.5 at some point in the very near future. So we've got 97 orders open on crypto. We've got another probably close to 20 orders across the rest of the markets. Probably close to 30 now because we took a lot of currency orders today. So I don't know the exact number, but I'll look. Actually, I can figure out the exact number. What am I doing? We got 121 sales and we have 9 buys. So we're at 130 trades overall, of which 97 of them are cryptocurrency. You guys are wondering what it looks like under the hood. I'll show you. This is one of my brokers that I use, BTCC. Right now it has a running balance of 155,000 in it. I'm 24,000 and change in the green. And these are the trades that we're in order of P&L. So getting closer and closer. So I think KSM when it closes is what, 4,347. So we've just been in that trade a while. Just kind of waiting. But my setup is I trade perpetuals, indices, and Forex currency, along with crypto spots from LHFX. So I trade spot cryptocurrencies, indices, and Forex currency, and some commodities from LHFX. I trade crypto perpetuals, at least some of them, and all the other stuff, with the exception of futures off of liquid brokers. I sell exclusively perpetual cryptocurrencies off of BTCC, and then I sell futures off of TopStep X. So I have 4 brokers that I'm using right now. Yes, I've actually been asked multiple times if I'm ever going to get into trading options. I don't know how to do it yet. Eventually, we'll get around to doing it and then start adding those to the queue. But I know very little about it. I might know enough to be functional, like pressing a button, but I don't think I know enough to be consistently profitable. So I would need to find some training on that. So for now, I stick to commodities, basically natural gas, oil, gold, platinum, palladium, silver. Um, we used to trade copper, but I don't have a strong enough broker that has copper anymore. We have over 200 crypto perpetual trades that we call. We have crypto spots. I trade all the major and cross pair currencies. I trade most of the Forex currencies that are exotic. I trade all the world markets with the exception of the Asian 200 and the Hong Kong 50. And then some of the South American markets. For instance, I don't have the Brazilian index anywhere. We trade 42 different futures. We trade a lot of stocks too, but it's very rare that I get stock trades. Like I just don't bother looking at them, mostly because it takes too much darn leverage to get into them, but they're in our queue. And then we have the other perpetual trades that are not present on liquid brokers that we take from BTCC. And that's everything we trade currently. About 5 minutes left to go. Got 17 seconds or so for the futures market. I doubt anything's going to pop off unless we get 1 hour confirmations on treasury notes. We're about to find out. So no immediate dings. Again, it's going to take about 3 minutes for it to get through the futures. So we'll know about 10:58 if we get any of those. But we have one more ticker left. That's at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. The top of the hour, 1 full hour past the closure of the London Stock Exchange and 1 hour before the lunch hour at the New York Stock Exchange. Been fun today. We called a lot of stuff. I did not wake up for the London session. I heard my alarm and did not have the motivation to get out of bed, which I guess I got lucky because nothing really happened in the London session today. So I'm glad I stayed in bed and got some rest. But I won't be doing that next week. We'll be on for all 10 sessions. I am going to be trading the entire week of Thanksgiving, so I'll be there. I'll also even be trading on Christmas. Every day we can take their money. We also had a nice little monster day yesterday. We had a lot of take profits. I think between Top Step X and the other brokers, I made about 37,000 yesterday. So it's not bad. And I'm not even aggressive on my lot sizes, even though I could be. I'm still very religious about taking 1% per trade. Like, I don't over leverage ever. Slow and steady wins the race. And what happens over time is you keep compounding, and then you no longer have to raise your lot size. That 1% is eventually going to go from getting you $10 here to $100 to $1,000. And, once you start seeing $1,000 per trade, I mean, what difference does it really make? All you have to do is press a button and wait. Eventually, you get to the point where I am now, where I don't even bother using stops on most things. My accounts are too large. I don't care. If it hits, it hits. If it doesn't, I'm just waiting. I'm confident in the direction that I'm calling in. All right, running up on a few minutes. About a minute and 30 seconds. Again, a reminder, if you haven't already done so, doesn't cost you anything. Drop me a follow, like the video, subscribe, turn on those notifications, and we'll see one another again at 2 a.m. Central Standard Time on Monday, November the 17th for London. Got about a minute left. Going to check to see if we get anything for that ticker. And if we don't, we'll convene for the day. I will be calling crypto trades over the weekend. So for those of you that are in Project Genesis, you'll have access to that. Ten seconds. And we had 1, 2, 3 calls. So we have a sell on Euro to Hungarian Florent on the 1 hour confirmation. So we're going to come back and give that at noon. We have a sell on the Australian dollar versus New Zealand dollar. That'll drop at noon. And we have a sell on the United States dollar versus the Israeli shekel. And that will drop at noon as well. So that'll be it for us for this week. I'll drop those calls in the signals chats for those of you that are on with me on Telegram within the hour. And cheers. Have a great weekend. I'll see you guys at 2 a.m. Central Standard Time, bright and early for London. Cheers.